What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with my Moto G Fast review. So let's get started. So this is my review of one of Motorola's latest budget devices, the Moto G Fast. Now this phone is being offered both factory unlocked and it is at several different carriers. The MSRP of the device is $199, but I'm sure as time goes on, the price will continue to go down. So certainly take a look at the link in the video description to see the most up-to-date pricing for the phone. Now with the Moto G Fast, we're getting a very large display at 6.4 inches. The display itself is IPS LCD with really nice looking colors. Now it is 720p. We're getting a PPI of 268. We're getting a 19.5:9 aspect ratio, so a more narrow but tall form factor. And we're getting an 82% screen to body ratio. Now on paper, having a 720p display with the phone certainly doesn't seem like a very good thing. But I will say, in general, the display certainly is one of the strong points here on the phone. And everything looks nice and crisp and clear. And it's actually a bit difficult to even tell that it is 720p. So I like the display in general. Now it would have been nicer if it was OLED, but again, since the display does look really good despite it being LCD, I'm totally fine with it. Now up top here, we do have a hole punch for the front-facing camera, and that front-facing camera is 8 megapixels. Now stay tuned to later on in the video, as I'll show you photo and video samples from the device with all the different cameras. But just to let you know right now, I'm very impressed with the results from the cameras here on the phone. Now with the Moto G Fast, we're getting 32 gigabytes of internal storage with microSD card expansion. Now 32 gigs is not a whole lot, and I did install a variety of my own apps here on the phone. And also, like I said, I've taken photos and videos, and I've done other things too that would take up space here on the phone. Now after doing that, you can see that I've used approximately 52% of the internal storage. So that's not too bad, but I feel like for a lot of people out there, getting a microSD card certainly is a no-brainer, as you are bound to eventually fill up the internal storage here on the phone. So I do certainly wish that it was 64 gigs. Now there's no wireless charging here with the device, but we do have a fingerprint sensor here on the back. So we'll try that out right now. So very quick there with the fingerprint sensor. Now there's no face unlock with the phone, unfortunately. So if you don't want to use a passcode every single time you access the phone, then you will need to use the fingerprint sensor. Now also on the back of the device, we do have a triple camera setup. So we have a 16 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a 2 megapixel macro camera. Here's how things look with the main camera here on the device. We'll then switch over to the ultra wide, and you can take both photos and videos with the ultra wide camera here on the phone. Now that is unlike the Moto G Stylus, which actually does not give you the ability to take pictures with the ultra wide angle camera, which certainly is interesting. Now once you get close up to an object, you will get a pop-up here that prompts you to switch over to the macro camera. And then after doing that switch, you can certainly take photos quite a bit closer and still retain a lot of detail. We also get a very nice looking, crispy front-facing camera here on the phone, so that certainly is very nice to have as well. Now with this device, we're getting 3 gigabytes of RAM and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 665. Now one of the reasons why this phone is called the Moto G Fast is due to the processor in the phone. Now the Snapdragon 665 is not necessarily the fastest processor out there, but considering the price of this phone, we are getting quite a bit of power here. So I feel like it certainly is one of the most powerful phones that you can get in this price range. And I've used other phones in this particular price range with other processors, and those other processors typically are actually quite a bit slower. So because of that, this really does make the Moto G Fast stand out, and they certainly didn't call it the Moto G Fast for no reason. You're definitely going to be getting mid-range performance here with the phone, and I really feel like Motorola is giving you a very good value. Now video recording with the rear camera does max out at 4K, which is very impressive, and we do get 1080p with the front-facing camera. Now the Moto G Fast features a pretty beefy 4,000 milliamp hour internal battery, which is compatible with 10 watt fast charging. Now the software on here is Android 10, with a pretty much stock experience here, and I did of course add quite a few of my own applications, which I've been testing as I've had the phone. Now there's no NFC with the Moto G Fast, unfortunately, which is certainly a bit of a disappointment. But now that we've gone over the specifications of the phone, let's take a closer look at the hardware. So I already talked quite a bit about the front panel here. Again, I'm really impressed with the display and the overall size of it and how good it looks. Now we do have a little bit of a thicker bottom bezel here at the bottom, but in general, I feel like the phone does look very aesthetically pleasing. Now taking a look at the left side of the phone, we do have this plastic band running around the sides of the device. It does look like it's chrome, which it is, but it is made out of plastic. Now also on the left side, we do have the slot for the micro SD card and SIM card. Then on the right of the phone, we have the power button and volume button. Then up top, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack and noise canceling microphone. Then on the bottom of the phone, we have the microphone, USB-C port for charging and data transfer, and we have the speaker. And then on the back, I already talked about this a bit already, but we have the camera module, flash, and fingerprint sensor. But in general, I feel like with the Moto G Fast, Motorola has gone with a very practical design here. There's really nothing strange or unusual or inconvenient about this design of the phone, and it really is a very practical device in general. Now here is the box that the phone does come in. It does look very similar to the box that other G-series devices from Motorola have come with that have launched this year. But we'll open this up and see what all we get. So we get some literature here from Motorola. We also get a SIM card removal tool, which is very important. We get a USB wall adapter. And finally, we get a USB-C cable for charging and data transfer. Now, the Moto G Fast is an excellent device for social media. Browsing my feed here on Instagram, for example, is super smooth, so no complaints about that. Zooming also works really well too. And then I can go up and view my various stories here, so that works out really well too. Nice and smooth. You can then swipe over and you can record your own stories. So I'm recording a video right now with the Moto G Fast. Very nice there. So certainly this phone is a decent option for social media. So these are my Samsung Galaxy A21 tips and tricks. So the speaker quality with this phone is certainly one of the highlights, that's for sure. The sound overall does get very loud. And even though you are limited at watching YouTube videos at 720p, things still do look very nice here on this large 6.4-inch panel. So in general, this device is a good phone for content consumption. And of course, as I mentioned before, by having that powerful Qualcomm Snapdragon 665, navigating around the device is certainly very easy as well. The photo and video quality from the Moto G Fast has also been a very awesome highlight of the phone. Now, don't get me wrong. The picture quality is not nearly as good as the Pixel 4a, for example, but that phone is quite a bit more expensive. But for what it is and for what it's being offered at, I'm totally happy with the quality we're getting from the cameras. So whether it is with the main camera or the ultra wide or even the macro camera, I've been very pleased with the results here from the phone. So certainly if you're looking for a device that's going to give you good enough photo quality that you can preserve your memories, post the content on social media, and in general not have any frustrations, then I certainly recommend this phone. So I can't really think of anything when it comes to the photo and video quality that I wish was different. Portrait mode also works really well too, so that's another surprise here with the device. And in general, it just works really well. But let's now take a look at some video samples from the phone. Here is a front-facing test video from the Moto G Fast in 1080p. So let me know what you think of the quality. Also, let me know what you think of the microphone quality. And it is a bit windy outside right now, so you might hear some wind noise. But let me know what you think. What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with a 4K test video with the Moto G Fast using the standard camera. It is a little bit windy outside, as you probably can tell, so you might hear some wind noise potentially. But I've been really happy with the camera quality from this device so far. It's really good. And here is a 1080p test video with the Moto G Fast using the main camera. Really quick, good autofocus. I've been really happy with the G Fast so far. In fact, I feel like this is one of the best phones in the Moto G series. So Motorola really has created a winner here. And here's an ultra wide angle video with the Moto G Fast. Definitely looks like a bit of a reduction in quality, that's for sure. but things are a bit wider here for whatever it's worth. So in conclusion, is the Moto G Fast worth buying? I would say that out of all the phones I've checked out this year, this phone is one of the most impressive for a variety of different reasons. The first thing is I really like how big the display is. That's been great. That's awesome. But another thing, and probably the biggest thing that's made this phone especially impressive, is that we are getting the Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 at such a low price. So that's going to give you very good performance, and really, again, I've said this a bunch of times already, but there are not too many other phones that I've used in this particular price range that would give you this much power. I know that that's definitely a priority for people that are buying budget devices, is that they don't want their phone to be slow, and that certainly isn't something that you will experience here with the Moto G Fast. Now, of course, compared to a more expensive device like the Samsung Galaxy S20, which has a flagship processor in it, this phone will be slower, but compared to its other counterparts in this price range, you will get significantly better performance with the Moto G Fast. The cameras, I've already talked about the cameras as well, but that's been a great experience too, so I like that you can take good photos and videos here with the phone. And in general, there's not much here that I wish was different. Maybe the only thing that I wish was a little bit better was having 64 gigabytes of internal storage instead of 32. But beyond that, this phone is pretty much perfect. I feel like it's very underrated, and I'm surprised we haven't heard more about this device. But I hope you enjoyed my review about the Moto G Fast. I certainly do recommend it. I really think it's a great option for many people that are on a budget. But let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.